You better make sure in the next season of your life that the person who walked away from you know what they're missing. You better do something with your life. Did you look at me? You better do something so strong and so big with your life that they have to sit on the couch and say, that's the one that got fired. Man, I should have just stayed in there a little bit longer. I should have been a little more patient. I should have prayed a little bit harder. Do something with your life that makes them regret turning you away and turning you over. That means getting better and not bitter.
Life, my friend, is a test. A beautiful, gut-wrenching, exhilarating test. And guess what? It's not supposed to be easy. Think about it. The only time we've truly evolved in life was through heartbreak and trauma. Not when everything was sunshine and roses, but when we were thrown into the deep end battling our demons. For some of us, if our childhood had been all smooth sailing, if we hadn't faced hardships, would we even be where we are today? Probably not. We wouldn't be who we are because, let's face it, if life had always been perfect, we wouldn't have learned how to empathize. We wouldn't understand others' pain or why people need help. You know why? Because we wouldn't have experienced it ourselves. But here's the real kicker. That pain, it gave you the superpower of understanding. It equipped you with the tools to pull yourself out of the darkness, and now we are here sharing this journey together. Now I get it. Heartbreak sucks. It hurts like hell. But let me tell you something. Heartbreak and failure are not your enemies. They are your greatest teachers. If you've just had your heart shattered, if you're staring at the remnants of a relationship or even a failed dream, here's what I want you to do. Take a deep breath and don't run from the pain. I know it sounds counterintuitive, but trust me, this is where the magic happens. If you can, ask the person why it ended. I know it's scary, right? But clarity can be a game changer. Stop replaying every detail in your head, overthinking every moment like a bad movie. If you have the chance to understand why things fell apart, grab it. Whether they give you a real answer or just silence, that's still an answer, my friend. And listen, if they don't respond or they brush you off, that is your closure. It's a harsh truth, but silence speaks volumes. They're not interested in helping you heal, and honestly, that's all you need to know. For me, if cheating was involved, I don't even need a reason. My boundaries were crossed, and that's enough. Period. I'm out. No more excuses. Now here's the most important part of healing. Feel your emotions. Every single one. Don't bottle them up like you're saving them for later. If you're sad, be sad. If you're angry, let it out. Scream into a pillow if you need to. Your emotions aren't bad. Suppressing them is. When you stuff your feelings down, they eventually come back with a vengeance, usually at the worst time possible. Anger festers into bitterness, and before you know it, you're taking it out on people who had nothing to do with your pain. That's not fair, and it's not healthy. You're not weak for crying your eyes out. You're not less than for feeling hurt. You're human. You're normal. You've been through something tough, and it's okay to not be okay right now. But here's the catch. Don't let those emotions set up camp in your heart forever. Feel them, but don't let them become your comfort zone. At some point, you've got to pick yourself up. Not today, maybe not tomorrow, but soon. You deserve to heal. Here's a little exercise I swear by. Write a letter to the person who hurt you. Or, if it's not about a relationship, but about a failed dream, write to yourself. Pour everything out, every emotion, every unsaid word, get it all on paper, then burn it. Literally, watch those feelings go up in smoke. It's cathartic, I promise. It's about releasing that emotional baggage and making room for something new. Now, let's dive into some real soul searching, shadow work. It's not as mysterious as it sounds. It's about asking yourself the tough questions and facing the uncomfortable truths. Questions like, how did I evolve from this situation? What needs of mine weren't met? What boundaries were crossed? Reflect on what you've learned and how you've grown. Because even in the darkest moments, there's growth happening, I promise. We often romanticize our relationships, especially after they end. We amplify the good times, replay the happy memories, and sometimes forget the reasons it didn't work. But let's be honest, if this person was truly your dream partner, why did it end? What needs were left unmet? What boundaries did they cross? This is where we stop living in fantasy and start dealing with reality. Take a step back. Look at the relationship as if you're on the outside, looking in. Was it really as perfect as you thought? Probably not. And that's okay. Relationships end for a reason. The question now is, are you going to honor your needs and your boundaries, or continue holding on to a version of the relationship that only existed in your mind? Now, here's a juicy nugget of wisdom. The best revenge? It's living an amazing life. I learned this the hard way. Back in my teen years, I was bullied hard, and trust me, the temptation to get back at them was strong. I had dirt on them. I could have easily humiliated them, but I didn't. Why? Because I refused to stoop to their level. Instead, I chose to focus on building myself up. I kept my head high, knowing that one day I would win, simply by living my best life. And you know what? God came through for me. He put me back together right in front of the people who tried to break me. Karma, maybe, but I like to call it grace. Let me tell you something. God doesn't fail. If someone hurt you, betrayed you, or broke you, let it go. Trust that He's got bigger, better plans for you. Focus on you. Focus on creating the life you deserve, and watch how things start to fall into place. I think hurt is a beautiful emotion, to be honest. Some of the biggest movements happen because of hurt. You know, when people are hurt, they stand up. That's when they feel like they need to speak up for themselves. That's when they realize they've had enough and they push for change. Imagine if everything was always perfect. We wouldn't have revolutionaries, we wouldn't have icons. Pain makes us grow. Those limiting beliefs can hold you back. But God always has a bigger plan for you. You might not see it right now, but trust me, it's there. If you told me 2 years ago that I would be where I am today, I wouldn't have believed you. I was so fixated on things that were too small for me. I was upset, but God wasn't giving them to me because I was meant for something bigger. And you will pass through this too. This heartbreak or challenge that seems so overwhelming right now. It will fade. You'll think it's the end of the world, that you'll never find love or happiness again. But that's not the truth. You're just in an emotional state. And when you're emotional, it's hard to think rationally. Give it time, and I promise, the pain will ease. When I went through heartbreak, it took me about a month. And after that month, the sadness started to fade. Sure, you remember, but it doesn't overpower you anymore. It's no longer this wave of overwhelming sadness or depression. It takes time to heal, and with time, those emotions will calm down. You'll start to think more clearly. Eventually, you'll come to terms with it, and you'll move on. Trust yourself. This isn't the first time you've been hurt, and it won't be the last. You've been through so much before, and you came out stronger. You're strong, capable, and resilient, and you can do amazing things. You just need to believe in yourself. There are people who are afraid of you realizing your power. They want to keep you small, trapped in your cocoon. But you need to break free, realize who you are, recognize your potential. People are scared of your greatness. That's how incredible you are. If you're going through heartbreak, talk to someone who won't judge you. Close friends or family might have a hard time offering that compassion because they don't want to see you hurt. They might get angry, thinking, why can't you see your worth? But what you need right now is someone who can just listen without judgment. Sometimes that's a stranger or someone new in your life. If you don't have people like that, put yourself out there. Sign up for classes, go to the park, strike up conversations. People are craving connection, especially now. You'd be surprised how open people are to connecting. Heartbreak and failure are opportunities to mentally evolve. I know for me, every time I went through something tough, I wanted to understand what was happening. I needed to make sense of it, so I'd read, watch videos, listen to others who had gone through the same thing. You can learn so much from other people. Ask them how they dealt with heartbreak. You'll resonate with their stories and it'll help you process your own. Spend time doing things you love. Dance, paint, cook, clean, whatever brings you joy. What you need right now is love. Whether it's being around family or spending time with someone you care about, surround yourself with things and people that make you feel loved. Nature is also so grounding. Go for walks, spend time outdoors, it's healing. And take care of yourself physically. Eating well, moving your body, even small things like daily walks can make such a difference. One of my friends went through a tough time and started binge eating, and it made her feel worse. True self-care is nourishing your body with good food and movement. Also, listen to healing meditations. Look up guided meditations on heartbreak or self-love. They're incredibly powerful. Repeat affirmations to yourself. Stand in front of the mirror and say, I'm worthy. I am lovable. I will find love. Love surrounds me. What we put out into the world is what we receive back. It's all about practice. Things don't change overnight, but you need to keep going. Life is full of ups and downs. What sets successful people apart is that they don't quit. They keep going after failure, after heartbreak. They don't let one setback define them. You need to keep pushing, even when it's hard. I've failed more times than I've succeeded, and that's okay. I've made a lot of mistakes, but I've learned from them. I'm constantly evolving, and I'm taking you along on this journey with me. I don't have all the answers, but I won't quit, and neither should you. Failure happens, but you can always try again. Lastly, I want you to know that you didn't waste those years. You've learned more through your struggles than some people learn in a lifetime. You've decided to not only move on, but to become better because of it. That takes immense courage. You've been through so much, but you're still standing. You've realized your worth, and you're putting in the work to become the best version of yourself. You're setting boundaries and choosing yourself. That's powerful. And deep down, you know what you deserve. That's why you feel unsettled when you're not getting it. You see glimpses of the person you're meant to become, the best version of yourself. And the reason you see it is because it's already inside you. You just need to take the steps to become that person. Don't worry about why it didn't happen sooner. You're making the change now, and that's what matters. Some people never wake up to their potential, but you have. You're acting on it. You're doing the work. Be proud of yourself for that. Even if it means being alone for a while, trust that there's something bigger and better out there for you. With that faith, courage, and strength, you will get there. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this helped you on your journey. Keep pushing, keep growing, and remember, you're stronger than you think.